Welcome back learning English vocabulary.
Stethoscope. Stethoscope. The doctor used a stethoscope to listen to my heartbeat. Thermometer. Thermometer. The nurse checked my temperature with a thermometer. Blood pressure monitor. Blood pressure monitor. My grandma uses a blood pressure monitor every morning. Syringe. Syringe. The nurse gave me a vaccine using a syringe. Defibrillator. Defibrillator. The paramedic used a defibrillator to restart the man's heart. Oxygen mask. Oxygen mask. The patient wore an oxygen mask to help with breathing. Glucometer. Glucometer. A diabetic person checks their blood sugar with a glucometer. Surgical scissors. Surgical scissors. The doctor used surgical scissors to cut the stitches. Scalpel. Scalpel. The surgeon made a precise cut with a scalpel. Otoscope. Otoscope. The doctor checked my ear with an otoscope. Ophthalmoscope. Ophthalmoscope. The eye doctor examined my eyes using an ophthalmoscope. ECG machine. ECG machine. The ECG machine recorded my heart's electrical activity. Nebulizer. Nebulizer. A person with asthma used a nebulizer to inhale medicine. Ventilator. Ventilator. The ICU patient was kept alive with a ventilator. Crutches. Crutches. After breaking his leg, he walked with crutches. Wheelchair. Wheelchair. The elderly man moved around in a wheelchair. Hospital bed. The patient lay on a hospital bed after surgery. Pulse oximeter. Pulse oximeter. The nurse clipped a pulse oximeter to my finger to check oxygen levels. Tongue depressor. Tongue depressor. The doctor used a tongue depressor to check my throat. Tourniquet. Tourniquet. The paramedic used a tourniquet to stop the bleeding. Catheter. Catheter. A catheter was inserted to help the patient urinate. Infusion pump. Infusion pump. The infusion pump delivered medication directly into the vein. Dialysis machine. Dialysis machine. The dialysis machine cleaned the patient's blood. Endoscope. Endoscope. The doctor used an endoscope to check inside the stomach. Laryngoscope. Laryngoscope. The paramedic used a laryngoscope to look at the throat. Anesthesia machine. Anesthesia machine. The anesthesia machine kept the patient asleep during surgery. Surgical table. Surgical table. The patient lay on a surgical table during the operation. Sterilizer. Sterilizer. The hospital used a sterilizer to clean medical tools. Autoclave. Autoclave. The autoclave sterilized surgical instruments with high heat. Sutures. Sutures. The doctor closed the wound with sutures, stitches. Bandages. Bandages. The nurse wrapped my wound with bandages. Plaster cast. Plaster cast. The doctor put a plaster cast on my broken arm. Forceps. Forceps. The surgeon used forceps to hold the tissue. Retractor. Retractor. A retractor kept the incision open during surgery. Speculum. Speculum. The doctor used a speculum to examine the cervix. Tuning fork. Tuning fork. The doctor tested my hearing with a tuning fork. Reflex hammer. Reflex hammer. The doctor tapped my knee with a reflex hammer. Suction device. Suction device. The dentist used a suction device to remove saliva. Nasal cannula. Nasal cannula. The patient received oxygen through a nasal cannula. X-ray machine. X-ray machine. The doctor used an X-ray machine to check my broken bone. MRI machine. MRI machine. The MRI machine took detailed images of my brain. CT scanner. CT scanner. The CT scanner captured cross-sectional images of my body. Ultrasound machine. Ultrasound machine. The doctor used an ultrasound machine to check the baby. Incubator. Incubator. The incubator kept the premature baby warm. Doppler machine. Doppler machine. A Doppler machine checked the blood flow in my leg. Blood gas analyzer. Blood gas analyzer. A blood gas analyzer tested oxygen and CO2 levels in the blood. ECG electrodes. ECG electrodes. The nurse attached ECG electrodes to my chest. Resuscitator. Resuscitator. The doctor used a resuscitator to help the patient breathe. Surgical drill. Surgical drill. The surgical drill was used to fix a broken bone. Bedpan. Bedpan. The patient used a bedpan while recovering in bed. Lancet. Lancet. The diabetic patient pricked their finger with a lancet. Hearing aid. Hearing aid. My grandpa uses a hearing aid to hear better. Kidney dish. Kidney dish. The nurse placed the used instruments in a kidney dish. Vaginal speculum. Vaginal speculum. The gynecologist used a vaginal speculum during the exam. Foley catheter. Foley catheter. A Foley catheter was inserted to drain urine. Insulin pump. Insulin pump. The insulin pump delivers insulin to diabetic patients. Medical trolley. Medical trolley. The medical trolley carried necessary tools. Prosthetic limb. Prosthetic limb. The athlete walked with a prosthetic limb. Sterile gloves. Sterile gloves. The surgeon wore sterile gloves during surgery. Surgical mask. Surgical mask. Doctors wear a surgical mask in the operating room. Goggles. Goggles. The lab technician wore goggles for protection. Lead apron. Lead apron. The dentist gave me a lead apron for X-ray protection. Medical gown. Medical gown. The nurse put on a medical gown before surgery. Infrared thermometer. Infrared thermometer. The infrared thermometer checked my temperature quickly. Medical refrigerator. Medical refrigerator. Vaccines are stored in a medical refrigerator. Glucose meter. Glucose meter. A glucose meter measures blood sugar levels. Digital stethoscope. Digital stethoscope. A digital stethoscope amplified the heart sounds. Medical tape. Medical tape. The nurse secured my bandage with medical tape. Oxygen cylinder. Oxygen cylinder. An oxygen cylinder provided emergency oxygen. Surgical cap. Surgical cap. The surgeon wore a surgical cap in the OR. Medical stretcher. Medical stretcher. The paramedics transported the injured man on a stretcher.
Thank you so much for watching my video. Please help like, share and subscribe my channel.